You're listening to the Sales Hunter podcast. My name's Mark Hunter. Today I'm talking about prospecting and how it's the questions you ask, not the information you share, that is going to make a difference with the podcast. Anyone can share information. It's about the questions you ask. Let's get into it, and the show begins right now. You're listening to the Sales Hunter podcast. Of course, you know that. Hey, would you do me a favor? Would you subscribe, rate, and review the show on your favorite podcast app? Would you do that for a moment? Hey, what are we talking about today? I'm talking about prospecting, how it's the questions you ask, not the information you share. See, here's the situation. Customers can get information anywhere. They can get information anywhere. You want to engage a prospect. Engage them with questions, because here's the whole situation. It's the questions you ask that are going to get them talking about the information you need to hear. If all you do is share with them information, fine, you're educating the customer, but you're not doing anything for yourself. I want you to stop and I want you to ask yourself, what are the questions I'm asking? Now, this includes, I can be asking questions in the prospecting email, in a prospecting voicemail. I'll be asking questions more frequently. And here's what it's about. It's a way that I demonstrate two things. I demonstrate my confidence and I demonstrate my competence. How do I do this? Because I'm asking questions that are relative to your business, asking questions relative to your industry. George, I'm Mark Hunter. Really interested in how you're going to be handling the change in regulations regarding X. Got some information I can share with you. Call me. Boom. You see what I did there? I asked a question relative to something of interest to their industry, to their business. See, I love leading off with a question of interest that connects to them. This is much better than saying, hi, I'm Mark Hunter with so-and-so. We've been in business for 65 years and yada, yada, yada. I'm just telling you information. That's not going to get you anywhere. It's the questions. Then if I have the ability to get you on the phone, I'm going to ask you that question. And however it is that you respond to me, I'm going to ask you a follow-up question on that. And I'm going to keep asking you questions. This is how I truly understand if I can qualify you as a prospect. Because here's what I'm doing. If all I'm doing is sharing with you information, and we'll say you respond, that doesn't mean you're a qualified prospect. It just means you're a lead, a suspect that responded. That doesn't mean anything. It's the questions. You see, the sooner I ask questions, the sooner I'm going to uncover information. And the sooner I ask questions that are relevant to the person, their company, their business, their industry, their geography, whatever it might be. And it's not something so lame as, how's the weather? No, it's getting very specific. And the more specific I can make the questions, better off I'm going to be. This is one of the reasons why I say prospecting always has to happen within an ICP, your ideal customer profile. Got to be tight, got to be tight. Because if I can be tight, it's amazing what happens. Because then what happens is questions I use for one prospect I can use, or for one lead I can use for another, I can use for another. But here's what's good is I ask these questions and I begin to get intel back. Not only am I asking them more questions, but now I'm also getting intel that I can use to help fashion other questions for other prospects. You see, really what happens is when I'm asking questions within the ICP, I'm not only educating myself, but I'm educating future prospects. So here's what you want to do. You want to take and you want to be able to write out 10 questions that you're going to ask a prospect in your industry. Okay? 10 questions that you could ask a prospect in your industry. Then as you begin making these calls or you begin emailing, you then say, okay, who's the company? Can I get even more specific? What's their website? What's their social media? What's happening? But what I'm doing is I'm now getting 10 kind of generic industry questions, and then I'm getting 3 to 4 company specific or individual specific questions that I can. Now I've got 13, 14 questions. Guess what? I've got all the information I need to be able to call you, contact you. And I'm going to lead off with a question relative to your company, you personally. In other words, the tighter I can make the question, the more effective it is. And we'll say they answer that, and we have got a great dialogue. Then I may add an industry question. Now, what's happening here? Now suddenly they begin to realize, whoa, this person's pretty smart. You see, what I'm doing is I'm doing a much better job of gaining information. Now I can really truly begin to qualify you, the lead, as to whether or not you're a prospect or a suspect. But see, if all I'm doing is sharing information, that isn't going to get me anything. I want you, as your exercise, to take the time to develop questions. And here's what's so good. The more times you ask these questions, you're going to be able to refine them even better. You're going to come up with different ways to say them, different ways to word them. You're going to come up with different responses that you're going to get back, which are in turn going to lead you to additional questions you can ask. But this gives you a level of expertise that is going to separate you. And like I said, I can sit there and I can ask this question in an email. I can do it in social media. I can do it on the telephone, voicemail. I can do it in any manner possible. But if all I'm doing is trying to spout off to you, I'm educating them really as to why they shouldn't do business with me. But here's the other piece. If I'm asking you meaningful questions and you're responding to me, I'm going to be much more likely to get that CTA, that call to action. Hey, great conversation. Tuesday, 10 o'clock. If you've got time, let's put it on the calendar right now, because I got quite a bit more information I'd like to share with you. And you've given me some minutes here today. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to share some of that information with you. You see, what I'm doing is I'm creating a value-added call to action based off the questions you ask is what's going to drive the results you want to achieve in prospecting. Hey, my name is Mark Hunter, the Sales Hunter. Each week I give you 2 episodes each week. One a short one like this on a single topic and another one a longer form. Hey, would you do me a favor? Subscribe, rate, and review the show on your favorite podcast app, would you? More importantly, I want you to understand this. Why? Why do I do what I do? I do because I care about the sales community. My objective is to help you. My objective is to influence and impact you. Because my goal, if I can help you see and achieve what you didn't think was possible. That's why I do the Sales Hunter podcast, because I care. Sales is not a solo activity. Sales is a team sport. And the Sales Hunter podcast is part of the sales team. I'm Mark Hunter. Great selling.